All right, we're live. Hi guys, welcome to the Black Hat After Show for episode 5. My name is Tammy, your wonderful guest, the wonderful host. I'm gonna start where I see on my computer screen. Tonight I have Clayton, then Mr. Derek, who's always one of my favorite people to have on.
Oh.
Curtis and Queen T.
Hey.
So yeah, tonight was intense. This was a really good episode.
It was.
See, like, oh my gosh, so we have to start from the top. I guess the top was when Kate eliminated Chris, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of my favorite quotes was that I think it was Noah that said, or somebody, I'm pretty sure it was Noah, was like, you took out one of Sequester's comp beats or whatever. And I was just like, I love Chris. No shade at all. But I was just like, what did he win? Why he was the Sequester? Why was he the Sequester comp beats? And I was like, I don't remember. I played with him. This is my third time playing with him. I was like, I don't recall him winning anything.
No. I just remember when he got out. He's like, rock paper scissors. I got rock paper scissors.
He was pissed when he got out.
Expect to get a physical or something like that every time. Like, you have to expect that some kind of mental is going to be involved at some point in the game.
No, but let me go ahead, Derek. My bad.
Have people beat is that mental aspect of the game. People are going into it expecting it to be physical or something like that, but when they see it's mental, it completely throws them off guard. So that's a downfall for a lot of people.
Let me give y'all some tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, that why I feel like a lot of people are scared to take out Jamie Lee. So, yeah.
Yes. What was your tea? What was your tea?
So my tea is during that competition or that elimination round, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Chris was around here blackmailing motherfuckers. Okay. So that's why some of Kate's answers were off, because he was basically not threatening. Let me not say threatening.
No, threatening. It was aggressive. He was easy on me because I went first, but it went to like, do it or else. And then it was like, do it or else I'm going to target you, or do it or I'm going to like stab your child. Like, it got progressive.
Right. Or do
it got worse.
Tell everybody that you have the LOS. I'm like, really? Really?
See, I went up there, and I guess because he didn't really have anything on me, he was like, can you lie to Kate? And I was like, nope. I said, I'm going to tell you both the truth, and then it's up to you guys to do the better lying or whatever. I said, that's you guys. I said, I'm telling you both the truth, and that's how it's going to be. But a lot of people, like we saw, did get persuaded by Chris and like lied, but then he still, we still saw what happened. So I'm not really sure what happened there.
Yeah. It was fate, and I was so happy.
In the episode, Sam's like, yeah, like I lied to Kate for Chris. It didn't take much convincing, and everybody's like, because you wanted the D. Like, everybody knew exactly why it didn't take much convincing.
Okay.
Well,
he was big mad coming back to that pre-jury house, honey. Okay, he was, so I guess there's some other tea. So when he saw Ayla, he was just like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you put me up?" He was just like kind of cornered. He's like, "Why would you do that?" And she was like,
"Like, sir, like, you voted my ass out."
Right, it's over now.
Fucking Chris, I love Chris. I love him so much.
Me too. I love him, but it's like, man, like I don't think I would ever want to be in a one-on-one competition with him, just for the simple fact that, like, if he loses, like, it's really not gonna be good. He don't take it very well. But that's that drive though. Me, if I lose him, it's like, oh, okay.
No, and thank God he got taken out when he did too.
You said what?
I said, thank God he got taken out when he did too, because in the jury phase, who would have voted for him if he could have challenged us? You know what I mean?
Right.
True. That's very true.
So this is my opinion on Ayla's choices. I had no idea who she was going to pick. I you can kind of see it when she's picking. Like I'm staring at her because I have no idea who she's about to pick. And then obviously like there was people that I wanted her to pick, but I honestly had no idea. And I was like, I mean, even for a second, I found myself being scared. Obviously, knowing Ayla would never pick me, but I was like, I literally had no idea. So I was like, even scared a little bit myself. And I was like, wait, you're safe. Like she won't pick you.
Yeah, like, and it's so difficult. Like even with when you're working with someone, and if you can't really like, I mean, I guess you could kind of talk about it, but like you can't really plan on who you would pick. It's not like you guys had time to like talk to each other about it. So I can see how that puts you in a weird position, and especially because like after that you weren't completely by yourself, but you know what I mean, like.
No, I definitely felt once she was eliminated, I felt by myself. Not only, I mean, I talked to other people in this game. At that point I talked to Chris a little bit. I talked to Nick. I talked to Chris before he was eliminated. I talked to Chris. Let's see, I'm trying to think who else I talked to. I think everyone else I talked to was already out. And so at that point, I was like, oh, crap. Like, I talked to Nick, but obviously Ayla just put up Kate, and Nick and Kate are close. So I was like, I don't – like, at this point, I was like, everyone's pissed at me because of Ayla's choices. They probably knew or thought that I knew, you know, what they were going to be because me and Ayla were close, and everyone knew that. And so I was like, I think that, you know, now I really am alone. And then that's kind of like where everything started for me at that round. Like, oh, crap. Like, now I have nobody in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so like, so after Chris and Kate, there was that the shit conversation?
Yes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Honestly, I appreciate the filler. Like, it was actually a good like thing to have outside of like game. It was refreshing.
No, I like that too.
It was the best 10 minutes I had in that entire game. It was
please. You had
funny.
more of those extra stories, especially with the damn city bus.
It was the city bus, Carissa. I can't ever get on one again. I'm just gonna look at you.
City bus. But yeah, no, so no, I do like I really do like how she put in that, like, because like it was nice to see. You got to kind of see people like as outside of like players, you know what I mean? Even though it's a completely ridiculous conversation, but yeah, it's like it was nice to see everybody like laughing and like to show everyone it wasn't just the game the entire time.
Right.
I mean, it was. I mean, but it wasn't.
I'm just happy. I'm happy my mom gets to see that of everything else, though. I'm happy that's what she gets to see.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Her seeing Brad going, I'll do anything for Nick Lacey. Here you go.
Nick Lacey. Lord, I want to say, So this was okay. So I have been waiting to talk about this, man. Jamie Lee has become like the face of the season.
Yes,
I told her she was gonna be the face. I was like, why are you so scared to watch it? I said, you're like the comeback kid. Every time you think she's out, she's like rising up like, here I am, bitch. Because here's the funny part. I was literally second to last to go in for that box thing. I was sleeping every time somebody was going in to go vote. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just wait and go last. And so I thought I was last, and then Jamie Lee got up, and we both got up at the same time. And she was like, oh, you go ahead. I was like, no, you sure? She was like, nah, you go ahead. And I was like, man, I'm tired. Let me go. I should have freaking let her go in front of me.
No,
I would have got that damn shit.
No, as soon as it was announced that 10 of us were doing boxes, she said, I'm going to be last. And she said, I'm going to be last. Like, she had some intuitive, I didn't even understand why she wanted to be last. She knew that something good was going to happen to the last person.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
I love it.
It's just like, it was really just her against everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. And now, like, everybody wasn't, like, you know, like, everybody wasn't coming at her. You know what I mean? It was only, like, what, Nick and Kate, like, really.
It was only them, because I was never coming after her. I used to always tell them, yeah, sure, but please, the moment I had a chance, bitch, I was gonna be right there with Jamie Lee, like, fuck y'all motherfuckers, get the fuck
But
out of here.
we needed an under the cover chance because the loudest person there was Nick at this point. And so like I see people on Twitter getting upset that people are going after Jamie Lee, but it's like, as somebody who's not connected to everybody in the game, I'm not gonna put myself out there and be Jamie Lee's #1 biggest defender and put a target on me. So I'm gonna wait for the opportunity to do something.
That does, and I'm glad you brought that point up too, because I know a couple of people were saying like oh, like why are people like just not saying anything or whatever, but also like everyone doesn't know, like people that are watching, everyone doesn't know that whole situation. Like, you know, they used to date and they have their own issues like that, so it's very. You can't really just stick your nose into people's business like that, you know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, none of us. There's two sides to every story, or they say it's three sides: your side, my side, and the truth, or whatever. So only they know why, like truly know why they don't like each other so much.
Because people, it's real.
It got so intense, and like, oh, I think Nick is taking a lot of heat for it. Which, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the girl did, but like I don't know if it was that bad either. Like, was it that bad? To like yell at her all the time? Everybody was just like, he was yelling at her all the time.
Jamie Lee just sits there.
And then Jamie Lee approaches him to say, "Hey, why did you vote me out?" And then like, if I were a viewer, I'd be like, "Well, why wouldn't he vote you out? That's stupid." But I think Jamie Lee is playing on a longer history that we don't all understand. That maybe she was like, "Hey, could you throw me a bone here? Like, you know me, you know what I mean?" So there's more there than we all know.
That's exactly what it is. She's talking to him as far as like, really, like after all we've been through, like we really legit know each other. Would you really try to go after me like this for real? And he's looking at it like, ma'am, we're just playing the game, and I need you out of here. Like, you know, so they're like on two different pages, and then she's sitting there like trying to have a real conversation, but she sees the camera there at the same time, and then he's getting angry, and she's like, really, you just about to blow up on me too? Like,
but like, you know, and I mean, she like she said, she fought she's been fighting since the game started.
Since we announced
that door. She was that was the first target anyone said. That was like she was the only, like that was like everyone's automatic 100% Jamie Lee. That's the only name that was thrown, or the first one at least. And that was the only consistently between her and Holly in the beginning. It was both them, and then it was like they took like their factions of like. And the thing is, with so many people, because like their factions were only like, it was only kind of like groups of 4,
right?
Because there
really wasn't everyone.
It wasn't like like half. It wasn't like 2 halves of the house. There was like people on the outs, like pretty much us, that were just like,
right, whatever I feel that day. Like if we see each other,
and again, what are we gonna do? We're playing a game that we want to win too. You know what I mean? So there's like the moral high ground that you can take and say, no, like I'm going to be cool with Jamie Lee. Or, you know, maybe you can be kind of an asshole and say, okay, I'm going to stay quiet right now, you know?
But, you know, and that's the tricky thing about playing games too. It's just like, you know, especially people don't know you, like personally or whatever. Like, yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. It's kind of hard to like take like you can still be yourself in the game, you know?
Yeah. So my question is, so what Curtis just said is like, it's kind of like the whole balance thing is like I can sit back and say I can say something, but at what point in the game do you start playing your own game, and not directing that at you, Curtis, but I'm just saying like at what point in the game people start playing their own game, and it's just like all respect to Nick, but that energy that Nick gives off is like that controller energy. He's running around saying, "Oh, my target is Jamie Lee this, my target is Jamie Lee that," and then everybody's like, "Oh, Jamie Lee, oh, Jamie Lee this, and Jamie Lee that." But like, at what point is Nick going to be a problem for somebody?
I think it was more covert. Like you saw me talking to Teresa last episode. Like me, Teresa, Dana, we're never gonna vote for Jamie Lee.
Right.
We could do our own thing. Do you know what I mean? But we're not gonna come out front and defend her, or even tell her, "Hey, Jamie Lee, we're on your side," because that can get out. But we can organize something from the inside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that wasn't shown a lot because at a lot of the times when Nick was doing all of that, he had a lot of numbers that we even didn't know about. Like, you know what I mean? He had Sam. Well, I knew he had Sam. I knew he had Kate. I didn't know Wesley was with him. I didn't know Brad was really with him as much as he was. You know, like.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, as far as like when I say like at what point, I'm talking about people that were actually Nick go out and say like, oh, Jamie did this, Jamie did that. Like, at what point are y'all gonna be fed up with this? You know? And who actually said it? Kate said it tonight when she said, "So what are we gonna do? Just let Nick get to the end?"
Right.
So, yeah.
And also, like, I mean, I guess I don't know if people are really thinking, okay, so what do we do when Jamie Lee finally, like, no one's gonna let her win. I mean, if she, like, the thing is, like, at this point, if she wins, she did it, like, battling the whole entire time.
Right.
She's not working with any, like,
point,
no one's like, oh, we're gonna be final two, you know, we're gonna be to, like, like, ride or die or whatever. Like, no, if she wins,
no,
like
fighting. I played this game. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, we played it, and watching it, like, as you know, watching the show, like, I am 100% a Jamie Lee fan. Like,
same.
This girl has been drugged through the mud and came out like I guess I didn't really realize how bad it was when we were in there because you know, we did think she did have people, like we thought she had Wesley and you know, but then a lot of people did leave early. Like Casey was supposed to be with her, but he left early. Jake was with her, but he left early. Like, so her people like
Wesley and Noah jumped off at some point. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell they were. Yeah, Wesley and Noah, especially Noah. Noah was like Jamie Lee Reichert.
Jamie Lee.
Noah was raging tonight, boy.
When he uses last names, I can't.
Just oh yeah, but like it's like a side note, I was like, yeah, like Jamie Lee voted me out and I'm still team Jamie Lee. Like still. But yeah, so let's talk about Noah for a second. I don't know when this happened. Like what switch flipped?
Noah. Okay, so Noah's cool and I love Noah, but he like when he talks to people, he takes on like an assertive persona that doesn't entirely work, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Like it was like I didn't understand what it was. It started from people don't understand. It's like literally a whole day. So, but for you guys, it started last episode. So like he's like on 10, like the whole time, and it's like, what are you doing, bro? Jamie Lee's trying to have a legit, serious convo with him, and she like doesn't want to say anything because she already knows what you're gonna do with that information, and you still continue to like tell her to give you the name so you can go back and go say it.
No, but also Jamie Lee like told him, she's like, Noah, think about it, like there's two people and Nick doesn't talk to me, so who do you think said it? Like she's telling him without telling him, and he won't let her go. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he just turned on her so fast. He's like, well, if she's not gonna tell me, then fuck it. Like,
he says, fuck it, Kingdom.
Hold on. Wait.
No.
The kingdom shit.
The kingdom.
I love him. Noah's fantastic. I love him.
I remember seeing.
I love him too.
That Kingdom game is from All Stars 6.0 of Sequester, and I think it's the first. It's like wait, there's an episode of it. I'm pretty sure it's still on the Sequester like YouTube thing.
Yeah, remember
You said what?
I said I remember. I think it was All Stars. It's All Stars. Yeah. Sequester access.
So like, and I remember watching it, and even like it was explained. Like I don't know. I'm just glad I wasn't around for that one because like it seems so hard. I did even reading all that. I still didn't get it.
I played it, and I still don't understand it all the way.
When I was the strategy options that she had, I was hoping that she would go the numbers one, the odd one. That was the one that I was hoping she would pick, but then she ended up picking the Kingdom one. But that ended up turning out being good too.
It was Kingdom, then the evens, and then even votes, and then what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh, but like they both seemed hard. I don't know. I think with that many people still in the game, that even number thing will be hard to pull off. And being Derek know from 10.0, how that really completely can screw up everybody's plans because it only takes. I think it was Nick and Holly Campbell that pulled off. So who left? I forget who left.
Nick and Holly pissed me off that night, and they voted out Patty.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, it was just two. It only takes 2 votes, so that's it. Just has to be an even number. Like that only took 2 votes. So like I think with so many people in the game, that's such a high variable. There's too many variables that go into it because
Because
you could plan 8 people. You think like you think you good. All it takes is a few people. Like what? Only takes one person to not vote that way. One person to make it not an even number, and then just the 2 votes could be like, okay, that's it. Then there's probably
Exactly.
with that, it's like you can throw a vote on yourself, to either save yourself or either send yourself home. So it's just like it's a mess when it comes to those number games.
But the kingdom, like I said, those segments were like the hobo. We just see everybody in the music in the background. There we're going. Like, it was just in everybody's face.
No,
You could tell.
I fucked Dylan, who does the recaps. I fucked with him and said Wesley was playing the recorder in the corner the whole time the game was going on.
And I would believe it too, and he'd be so happy to do it.
I can't wait to watch it too.
When Brad gave the thumbs up at the end, did he do that because Jamie Lee was there, or because he gave the thumbs up the round before, and then gave a he gave a thumbs up the round before and then a thumbs down at the end. I think he was the only one that gave the thumbs down at the end. Like, do you think he did that just because like Jamie Lee was sitting there, or like
I couldn't tell you. We watched the episode with him, and Brad's smart as fuck. Like, Brad knew the smart thing to do was to kick me and Sam out. He knew it. But I think he said that round he was just over it. That's all he said. But I bet you you're right, is that he knew Jamie Lee was going in there and he was cool with that. I bet you you're right.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But no, like and the thing about Kingdom though, it takes a long time to play. I don't even know. I can't even imagine how long. Clayton, how long do you think you guys were playing for?
Well, I only got to play the first round because I was the first target. But the first round took. I don't know. I think we played the round. Like each round was like maybe like 15 minutes. I would say. I don't know, because like they had time to like come down and go back up, come down, come back. Like they went up and down a few times and stuff. So it definitely took a while. Like because I definitely had time to like I went through like all the emotions like the first one, because like right when they came back down the first time they're like, okay, so you're gonna be the first target, and I was like, okay, like this whole game Jamie Lee's been target number 1, and here we go again with her not being a target. Like, and then I'm like, okay, so it's me. Like, why, out of because nobody thinks, okay, I'm on the outs. I mean, yes, okay, apparently I was on the outs, and I did know that I didn't have as much people as I did when Ayla was there, obviously, and all that had just happened. But you never feel completely on the outs. I mean, there was people that I still talked to, and I thought, they would keep me, whatever, that kind of thing. And then you get told by 4 people collectively coming together that you are the first target. So it definitely felt like forever or no time at all. I don't even remember, but it was not fun for sure. I am not a fan of the Kingdom game at all. The peasants all actually talked about how smart it would be to overthrow the kingdom, because that means we're all safe. Like there was like no like we would all be safe that if we did that. So I'm not really sure how it didn't happen or why it wouldn't happen if this game was ever played in real life or wherever else, because that just seemed like a smart thing to do, and then it just didn't happen.
Clayton, I can say that I understand where your frustration came from with the episode from tonight, because people are saying, "Oh, why are you upset? Just understand it's about the game. It's for the game. It's for the game." You can say it's for the game all you want, but when it's you and 2 other people that are vulnerable, then how am I supposed to feel? Hence, Tim.
Exactly.
So
you have 33%.
Felt the way you felt.
Exactly. You have a 33% chance of going home, whether which obviously we'll talk about this more in a little bit because of what happened. But obviously you never know who's going to go home. 33% chance, like anybody could go. And then obviously being the first one, you don't know who's coming after you. Like I didn't know who's going to be the next one or the next one. I mean, obviously if Jamie Lee was the next one, then I'd be like, okay, like that's great. But if somehow Kate was the next one, and then the kingdom was overthrown and it was Curtis and Sam or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, I'm leaving. Like, there's people that were definitely liked by, more popular, whatever you want to say, that could have ended up next to me and then resulted in me going. And then obviously, they're telling me like, oh, it's okay, like calm down, like you're fine. But when you're at the top and you're real popular, you're real liked, that kind of thing, it's real easy to be, oh, if you're on the block, you're fine, like that kind of thing. But when you just lost, your closest person in the house, they just were voted out, and then they put up two of the really, really like liked people, whatever. It's pretty scary, like when you're even thinking about being sent out or whatever.
No, I can definitely see that frustration. So I know we're kind of skipping around a little bit, but we finished the game, the long confusing game, and right after was that when the little misunderstanding or conflict or is that's when that occurred?
Wait, what is this, Cammy?
When Clayton and Curtis had a
recapping a show called Sequester, Derek.
What are we talking about?
It was
clearly it was like it was a lot. It was a lot.
Okay, so I think this is the whole like point of me and Clayton being here together. So right after that, Clayton had words. I like everything Clayton just said. I'm completely empathetic to and I understand. But the way he approached me was like with anger and with yelling and he would ask me like why, and I would try to explain why, and he'd cut me off right in the middle. And that is the easiest way to turn me off because I'm horrible at confrontation. I'm really, really bad at it, and so I was just ready to be done. Clayton, I completely understand why you were upset, and I'm sorry. And like you weren't the target. That you saw for that from the episode. It's just what kind of happened. But then after that, I was kind of out on you because of the way you approached me.
Okay, so this is kind of my 2 cents of the whole situation. Obviously, I was upset. Obviously, I'm not the smartest game player, and I don't know how to control my emotions really. As they all pointed out in the confessionals how stupid I am. I'm not good at holding my emotions in. If there was a bad gays club, I should probably be on that show more than I should be on this show. I'm as much as I try to, listen to everybody that I wasn't the target, like people that I did like were telling me I wasn't the target, but it's still scary, and I was scared, and my emotions came out. I'm not sorry for anything, obviously. It was very, very hard to argue with Curtis because he doesn't argue back. So props to Curtis for that. He doesn't argue back whenever someone's arguing with him. So props to him for that. He just waits till the confessionals and does it there. That's good though. But like I said, I was just scared I was going to be sent home, and probably should have done the opposite of what I did. I probably should have pulled him aside and tried to get his vote, or pulled everyone, like slowly aside and try to get their vote to stay instead of just going crazy. Because what you didn't see is after the fight with Curtis, in between the other altercation, I was stomping around. I was breathing all heavy. I was talking shit. I was stomping around, all that stuff. I was acting a fool. But that's just how I do my emotions. I am young when it comes to that stuff. I'm not mature with that stuff. I haven't been in a lot of situations where things like that happen to me, so it's definitely hard to deal with my emotions in that sense. I am a sore loser in pretty much everything I do. So that was definitely that part of that, and that was with fighting Curtis.
But it definitely made for a good, a good episode. Especially one of my favorite moments in the episode was when you were having your moment with, I believe, Sam on the stairs, and as you turned around, you said, "I hope you vote me because I would have picked you, weak bitch."
No. I like when Clayton was like, "I was above him as I should be."
Okay, so let me just take a little second to go into this because me and Sam are fighting on Twitter right now. If any of you are on Twitter, we're fighting on Twitter right now because, so Me and Sam did not. Okay, sorry. I did not like Sam. Sam says he didn't have anything wrong with me. So I did not like Sam for stupid reasons before. On like night 1 of the game, night 0 of the game, stupid reasons. I'll admit that they were stupid reasons. That's all I'll say. If you have questions, ask me. But that's why I didn't like him. So we didn't work together in the game. We had like 2 alliances together, but we both knew we weren't really working together. And then the fight with Curtis happened, and the reason I went with Curtis first was because me and Curtis had talked in the game. So I guess like I was more, affected by him doing it than Sam. Like me and Sam, like it didn't surprise me. Like you saw whenever they told me like you're the first target, I was like, well, Sam doesn't like me. So it didn't surprise me with Sam really, but with Curtis it did more. And that's kind of why I went to him first. And then Sam, I guess, wanted to get some more airtime in on his part. So he saw me walking on the stairs and he decided to get brave. I mean, whatever. Like, my thing is, like, if you wouldn't do it, like, outside, but whatever. We were in a house where we couldn't do anything. Obviously, we'd be eliminated, kicked out. So he got brave and he decided to say something while I was going up the stairs. So I turned around and I, like, started talking to him and fighting with him. Literally, this is like right after my fight with Curtis. So my blood is still boiling. I'm still heated. And Sam wants to say something smart. And so I turn around and we're talking, fighting, yelling, whatever. And then I'm just like, like whatever. Like, so the fight with him was all because he needs some airtime. Like, I don't even think like he didn't really care at all. I think he just was like, this is my chance. Like, I know he'll fight back. And I would have fought back with anybody that probably said something to me at that point. But
you was a hot boy.
But the part is true where at that point I would have picked Sam to battle. I think that anything mental Sam could probably beat me at. He's a gamer. He plays he plays games a lot and stuff like that. He knows how to do like puzzles and like the number game he would have killed me at, like that kind of thing. Honestly, if I was eliminated at any point, my strategy was to hopefully get a physical competition in any aspect. That was what I was going for. And if I would have picked him hoping it was a physical one, probably. I think he was one of the weaker physical players. And then that was kind of what I was going for. So that statement is true, but I'm glad that's your favorite statement, Derek. Other than all the mean ones that were said about me, I'm glad that one's your favorite because I get a little credit.
I mean, it was Hurricane Clayton for a second. I was just like, damn. Okay. I think those were like those were back to back. Like I think it was shown back to back too. It was just like, okay, that's done. You literally walk out the room. It's like anybody can get it now.
Exactly.
Say something to me. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit and talk about like what's probably arguably one of the saddest moments of this season so far is when our queen had to leave us. So it was just so.
Fuck! We didn't even talk about Teresa getting out. Holy shit!
Oh no, because I was saving that.
I tried to erase that memory. Already.
No, everybody. So no, real talk. If Teresa did not get out in this fashion, she would have made top 4, and she would have had to get out in a challenge, or else she was going to win the whole thing. I don't see any other way she would have gone. I swear to God.
Yes.
I don't know how else it would have happened.
That whole was super LOS shit, and Teresa and Dana both lost their LOS. That right there was that, it was like crazy to their games, but absolutely gutted for Teresa in that moment.
Like it was, I've been a victim to the wheel too. Like I know how it feels. It's like, man, it's like I didn't even do nothing. like don't even vote for me. So let's backtrack. So I do believe when it was after the picking the box situation. So when we get to it was that's Jamie Lee's black hat power,
super
right?
LOS. That's where she got the super LOS.
No.
How picked the boxes, and so she got the super LOS because she waited till last.
Right, so but how did the boxes come in play though? That's what I'm saying.
Nick picked that power. It was like you can either vote or you get a box.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so you already explained the situation in picking the boxes. So now let's talk about so everybody's sitting in the room. We're all waiting to see what's in everybody's box. Like kind of he kind of like described the kind of like aura of the room. Like
Well,
how did it like feel?
it was after midnight for one thing. Okay, and mind you, we was up since probably 7 a.m. that morning doing challenges, voting bitches off every hour, on the hour. A bitch was tired, okay? And so at that point, we all made the conscious decision to pick boxes because we were like, okay, so if we vote, we're probably gonna have to get, do a challenge with someone. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm not trying to compete right now. It's after midnight. I'm tired. And mind you, this was the day, was this the day of? Yeah, this was the night that that morning Jamie Lee had almost drowned me in that water. And what you guys don't understand is when I almost drowned, that morning that pool had just gotten cleaned, okay? And so as I was drowning and gasping for air, I inhaled and swallowed some of that chlorine water,
Oh,
okay?
right.
So I was already starting to feel like a little sick because my throat was like kind of burning a little bit. So I was done. So we tired, we sitting there, and they announced that it's a tie or whatever, and they was like it's gonna go to the wheel. And I swear to you not, I knew my name was gonna be picked. I knew it. And I
I
was
feel like I
so
feel like
relieved a little bit.
And Teresa had eaten but one McDonald's cheeseburger, and she was not pleased with that.
You guys don't understand. I was already upset already because
like
it was McDonald's gate.
I don't think anyone I don't think anyone's elimination was sadder. I mean, like
Yeah.
everybody got up and gave you a hug. Like it wasn't no. It was
You know
like
what?
because you didn't have to pick. You didn't have to pick anybody, right?
No, and you know what? That
Like
night I was actually telling my ghost story. So we was all like really like having a good time waiting while everybody was voting. So I told a really funny ghost story. So we're joking around, we're chilling, and then I leave.
but you know what? I'm so glad that it like it was like that you went out in that fashion. Like it wasn't there was like it was kind of like when like Siri from Survivor when all those
Mhm.
twists happened and like she couldn't like she was like well this is it like I can't do anything like that's how I felt like you left like because it was like you had there was no blood on your hands. No one voted for you. You didn't have to put anybody in, but everyone. I think it was just a
Mhm.
nice like sigh of relief. Like everyone's like, you like reminded like okay it's a game but like there are good parts of this game too you know
Yeah.
so yeah definitely
No,
not only a
and
fan favorite but a
and
cast favorite too.
none of us knew. Like Teresa didn't share that she had the LOS. Maybe it was with Dana, but it was nobody else. And a bitch went upstairs and then on the balcony said, "By the way, I had it," and
Oh
then
yeah.
walked out.
I forgot I did that. I sure did. I
Yeah.
walked because you know what? They had announced that her Jamie Lee's thing, canceled the LOS. And so I was like, you know what? Let me go out with a bang. I went right up in my book bag, did that. Everybody went ballistic. It was
Oh, I went
hilarious.
wild.
I
So that
She
means
forgot
was
I did
cracking
that.
us up. Like I remember that because like we were all like, oh my god, like Teresa just left. Like nobody went through it. Like she was not on anybody's like name. Like she would never been voted out. Like everyone was just like so like sad that she literally like we just saw Teresa's name come up on the wheel. Like oh my gosh, like she was like, is it me? And they were like, yeah. And then we just like all like got so sad. And then like if you watch the clip, it looks like I'm laughing whenever she's like sent out, but that's because I'm laughing because she exactly what Kirsten said. Like she disappears for a little bit, and we're all just like staring at each other, like, oh my gosh, like not really knowing where she's going, and then we like hear like we look up and she's like, I had it, and she's like over the balcony like, like yelling at us. And she had everyone just like loses it, laughing and going crazy, and so that's like when I'm laughing.
No, it was the perfect way for her to go. And Teresa was like one of the highlights of this whole game for me. Like meeting her was fabulous. But if she did not go out in this fashion, she would have won or gotten out very, very close to winning because of a challenge. That's what would have happened to her.
And let me just say this, Miss Audrey. You need to go and knock on Big Brother's door and let them know what casting people is really like. Because as a woman of color, a person of color, I never felt discriminated against. I never felt alienated. I never felt like I wasn't a part of a game. I never felt any type of way. A bitch felt like she was wanted. Okay.
Okay,
So I'm gonna
that's
need Big Brother to learn.
that is super important because and this is, and I will say this about Sequester just in general, like all the seasons, that's never been an issue with anyone, and because I remember I like had my just knowing, like, I've been watching reality TV since it started, but like just
Mm-hmm.
knowing like how it happens on like pretty much every show, you know what I mean? So like I remember the first time I played, like I was just like, man, I was like, I'm probably gonna go first because it's just something that it's already like in your head. It's like if you're not going first and you're going second. But then I started
Mm-hmm.
playing, I was like, okay, wow, like people are actually like, really playing, like no one and it's like it's really nice to be able like to be in a situation like that, and that's what makes the question so unique, is that like there's so many people from so many different walks of life, and like I mean, there's people I don't like necessarily agree with everything they do or whatever, how they live their lives or whatever, but at the end of the day, when it comes to play the game, we're all here to play the game. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like we might do some like personal things, but it has nothing, it's not like, it's never like an attack, like a malicious attack on someone. If anyone comes at somebody, it's usually just for gameplay. And I'd much rather see a fight about the game. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to something with anything else. Go ahead, Clayton.
I just I do agree on a lot of that. I think that a lot of people are really. I do want to say though, I think that there are some personal attacks. I think we've seen that in the confessionals this round. I think there was a little bit of personal attacks. I just want to address those because I do think that some things were said that shouldn't be, and I just want to say that I think that everyone should love their body. Whatever body they have, I think they should love it. You can see in the episodes, I was a little bit bigger during this filming of this show, and that was pointed out. And I do think that everyone should love their body. I think that that's an important message for me to say that. It was hard to watch that again because during the game you don't know that things are being said, and then watching that, like it's hard. But I am happy with myself now. I think that's a big part. And then just that was one person and another person coming at you for other reasons. Like, there was some personal attacks that I didn't think were needed, but I do want to say that, even though we were only there for a short amount of time, like Teresa was saying, we were up from 7 in the morning until 1 at night, and tensions were obviously high, as you can see in this episode. Like, people are like, oh, y'all were, only there for such a short time. Like, you don't really have real feelings with these people. You don't really have, but you do. Because we were stuck there all day with these people. You couldn't escape unless you finally got to the balcony and nobody was there for a second. But I do think there were things that shouldn't have been said, and I just wanted to give my point on that. That's kind of why I came on the show tonight. Was talk about that and let everyone know that I had a few people message me and say whatever, but I think that I just want to send a positive vibe and let everyone know that I am happy now. And as hard as it was to watch it, I'm doing okay. I'm doing great.
Okay, and to your point, and I'm so happy you said that because I think you were beautiful then and sexy then, and I think you're beautiful and sexy now. I was making the point that I didn't want to go into a battle with you. And I could have done that more tactfully, but I swear to God, I've like nothing but love for you as a person. I understand you don't forgive, and that's totally fine, but I like love you and I think you're beautiful and there's nothing wrong with you. And so I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings or anything, because that was not the intent was to be funny and to explain that I didn't want to go into battle with you. Swear to God.
Yeah, and I do agree that you thought you were being funny and you thought you were doing that. I think that just as someone that does work out very often and does have a very nice body, you should just probably think about things a little bit more before you say it to be funny. Think more about you being funny, and think less about you being funny. Think more about like how other people are going to take it, because it's not it wasn't funny to me. But I will take it as a compliment because I do think that any like the balance being that kind of thing, I probably could have taken on pretty much anyone on the cast, and that would be thanks to my huge 250. So I will take that part as a compliment, but I think you should just with what you say. That goes to Sam too. I think Sam is just as guilty as trying to be funny or a character or good TV. You could say, and I think that it happens. There was a lot of people I didn't like in the show or whatever, but I don't think I ever really said anything personal, and I don't think most of us didn't really do that.
Well, you know what? I'm just glad that we can talk about this and have a healthy discussion when we're not in a pressure cooker of a house trying to worry about getting voted out. And there's a lot of time to reflect too. So hey, I'm here for it. I'm glad you guys did this. Real quick, I know Derek has to run. He's about to go live his best life and have a great night.
All right, y'all. It was fun. This episode was good. All three of you were amazing. Teresa, have a good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, Derek.
Why can't certain people say Teresa? Is my one question that I have.
Oh, everyone just want to add the extra flair.
Call me T. Just stop.
I get it all the time.
Yeah, it's me, queen of hard names. So I end up, and your name isn't even hard. I get people messing up Kamaletti. Okay, I get that.
We need to hire Noah to teach people how to say everybody's names.
Exactly.
First and last, middle. Okay, so we jump from that. Teresa left. We did the kingdom thing. Well, now we're getting to towards the end of the episode. Now the vote is what had me I'm still confused as to what happened. If clearly without saying what happens in the next episode, but were you or Curtis or Clayton, were you guys aware of the Kate vote, or
well,
I don't remember seeing where you guys voted.
Clayton wasn't I don't think you three were allowed to vote, right, Clayton?
No, we did not get to vote. So me, Jamie Lee, and Kate did not get to vote. We literally no one wastes their time to talk to us because we can't vote. So I don't know about Jamie Lee or Kate, but as you can tell, I thought it was going. I thought it was me. I was ready for it. I knew who I was gonna pick. I knew who I was gonna battle. I was ready for it, and because we didn't get a vote, so I didn't. No one came to me and was like, "Hey, this is where it's going. Can you vote this way?" Because we were just literally sitting there, just waiting, for the vote, basically, and that was definitely the last person I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be myself, and then if not me, I thought it was going to be Jamie Lee. Because we did know that Kate volunteered. It was very obvious. You can't, you don't go from me, Jamie Lee, and then Kate.
Right.
And like I said, we get to sit and watch the votes once we are. So after the first round, I saw the votes for the second and third round for that game. And so in my head, I'm putting things together. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, Jamie Lee, okay, so maybe things are going the way they said. And then Kate comes, and I'm like, okay, what happened here? Because everyone knows that Kate and Nick are close. And then, other people are, with Nick, that kind of thing. And so you're like, okay, something's up here. Kate should not be at any risk at all.
Right. And I didn't know Kate was going to go, but you saw me say in the episode, I think this is going to backfire on her. Because the way the jury worked is if you voted for the person who got voted out, you were at risk because you could get picked, right? So everybody's going to want to take the person who they think is not going to get voted out and vote for that person. So if enough people do that, shit turns around. And that's where next episode is going to get real interesting because Kate did not expect to get voted out. And I didn't vote for her. You saw that there was no love lost between me and Kate, but I didn't vote for her because I saw that coming a mile away.
Okay, so and we didn't touch on this either. When so after Teresa left, that's when we'll say so. Teresa was the first member of the jury, which I don't know if that was very clear in the episode.
They did it after her, but she was the first part of the jury.
Yeah, the jury segment was explained right after her elimination, but it wasn't. So like, yeah, just to let people know that are watching. Yeah, so Teresa was the first member of the jury, um, and the game did switch at the jury portion, which I always thought was, I think that's super cool because like you don't get to play. It's like it's a different aspect, like because the game's always changing. Like you might like some of the things are like same and basic, but the game is constantly changing, and you constantly have to adapt to whatever's being thrown at you. But yeah, when you get to jury, you get to see who voted for you, and then you get to pick who to battle. And then when you battle, you come back. Whoever wins comes back in the game, either leaves or stays. So yeah, that's a very yes. Like to bring to Curtis's point, it was a lot trickier with the votes, and then that made and Nick started thinking about that too when he decided
he was like, I'm not voting for Jamie Lee. We're all like,
he
okay.
didn't want to vote for Jamie Lee no more. He was like, no,
Right.
but but it was kind of smart though. It was like he pushed like
was it? No, was it? Was it?
No. I mean, it wasn't smart for him to tell everybody that.
Exactly.
Like that. It's just the thing is like, and I don't think like the more he said Jamie Lee, but like she never left. You know what I mean? I was like, he wasn't so gung ho about her the whole time because I don't think he voted for her every time. If like every time I've seen him vote, like it wasn't him like spearheading that. But then like for 2 seconds, it was Jamie Lee. But like right then, like the jury thing happened. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But it was all he never. Okay, no, I remember. It was all out of fear of him getting put up anyway. Because you already know it doesn't matter if she gets out. She putting you up anyway, so you might as well go with it.
Yeah, no, I mean that Jamie Lee really used the fear of her enemies being put up and going against her, and she used that. So now, I mean, she's using that,
and it worked. And it worked.
It's working.
Kate volunteered to be one of the people voted out so she would not be challenged. Nick stood in front of everybody else in the game and looked silly by saying, never mind, I'm not going to do this because of her. Like, it worked. Jamie Lee played the game the best that she could have given her situation.
Which is why I think that's why Kate was voted out, was because she did. Had she not volunteered, it would have been someone like Noah probably, and Kate would have been able to vote for Jamie Lee. But because she was so scared to vote for Jamie Lee because she knew Jamie Lee would pick her, she was like, I'll volunteer because if you, like we said earlier, if you are out, you're the one of 3 people, you don't get to vote. So she didn't have to vote anywhere. So she did that to save herself, but in return, she got her voted out. So
Kate was like, I'm not going to have y'all put me on camera and have Jamie Lee kick me out the game. Fuck y'all.
Okay.
And who can, by the way, who can blame Kate? Like, I'm not mad at Kate for that either. That's smart gameplay. But it kept Jamie Lee safe because the people who really cared about getting her out were not actually trying to get her out.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, maybe in the heat of the like kingdom like thing or whatever, you're probably not thinking about that clearly because you're trying to think of all the other 100 steps to the game that there are. But like, it made sense on Kate's part. Like, yeah, like you said, like, okay, so she can't throw me in because I didn't vote for her. Yeah, the only issue is that everybody wants to do that. Everybody that wants her out wants that same thing. But everybody, you can't have all your allies on the block with you. You know,
that's the same thing. That's the same thing with Clayton and I. That's why I didn't vote for Clay because I was like, Clayton will pick me, therefore I'm not going to do this thing.
But I'm trying to remember. She say Kate didn't volunteer herself and she didn't vote for Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee could still pick through the whole pool of people.
I think at this point you can only pick who voted for you.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say because Jamie Lee would have picked Kate every time. Everybody could have voted for Jamie Lee except for Kate, and she still would have voted. She still would have picked Kate.
It's just crazy how like it's like all of her allies had the same mindset. Like, oh, I'm just gonna throw a vote to Kate because everyone else is gonna vote for Jamie Lee. Like everybody on her side thought the same thing and just voted for their friend, and it's just so funny to me.
And so that's why everybody needs to tune in to next time because next time it compounds because we have this whole fuck Jamie Lee compository and that shit blows up.
I can only imagine.
I'm sure it does.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, like I'm so excited to see the next episode. I hope the next episode is just as long. Cause yeah, this was good. I was like, oh,
I think this episode was amazing. I think this episode was, besides everything that happened, like I think game wise, TV wise, everything wise, this episode was the longest for a reason. I think it was, an amazing episode. I think that there was so much going on, and obviously that's not even everything that was going on. But I think that was so much. Like, never did I find myself bored during this episode. Like, it was going from something to something, something, something. Like, and then like it would, which the first part, like I felt like Teresa left pretty early. Like I feel like the episode had just started and she was gone, and then it kept. I was like, oh wow, like that was pretty quick. But then like there's still so much time left, and it's like bam, 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 all this stuff at this game, and then all the drama and then all this stuff. I'm like, this episode's like just keep it going like forever.
Right.
yo, it was definitely like the editing, like the whole composition of it was really good. Because like, had it not been that long, I would have been mad if I had to wait another week to see the other half.
And T's the only person who actually left this episode too, because Kate's gonna battle somebody.
Yeah,
so only one person even actually left this episode.
Oh yeah, dang! That Kate man, that shit was long as hell. That was long as hell. I still liked it, like even though I didn't get it, because every time y'all came out, I was just like, okay, so do they win? Or like, do they ever? I didn't know. I was like, it was like just somebody was like off with their head. I was like, okay, but like now what? Yeah, I couldn't have played this. I would have fucked it up. I'm like, I guess I'd probably be the first one out. Be like, look, I don't know, y'all.
Okay, can we talk about that too? Like, first of all, I'm pissed because I know I'm the first one, whatever, and then I have to watch these two people that I know say my name come out there and say, Clayton, off with your head. I'm like, this is like, I'm pissed. I'm already heated, and then I have to watch this, like, and I'm the first one, so they're like trying to say it without like dying laughing. I'm over here like heated as hell, like, and they're like, I'm like pissed off, like I just want to like run up the stairs, but they're like staring at me, like I know it's me, and they're like trying to get it out, and I'm like, oh my god.
I'm sorry, my best friend Kate made me the kingdom. I couldn't help it.
Like, yeah, and they had to say it. Like, there was no like, Clayton, you're out. Like, they had to say like real loud, like, Clayton, off with your head. And I was like,
I'm sorry. I meant to say it in a whisper. I meant to say it in a light whisper. I meant to say it that way.
You did look like you did everything.
Make a little cut, like.
No, but Clayton, seriously, nothing but love for you. And I'm like 5 vodka, like pineapples deep, and I've had a couple beers. But I swear to God, nothing but love for you. And I hope it's the same. Like I hope you can forgive me. Like there's nothing but love.
I wouldn't mind having a conversation with you. I mean, I will say you knew I was upset kind of whenever we had the viewing party. I don't know if we're allowed to say that, sorry, but whatever. You knew I was upset, and I still haven't really heard from you. But if you genuinely feel bad about what you said, or not even feel bad because we were in a game, but if you want to talk about it or anything, we are friends on some social media, and I think you could reach out. I haven't seen it yet, but I would like to think that there's some ounce of good in you, because, like I said, we did talk a little bit before, and I thought you were actually a decent person. So my lines will definitely be open forever if you want to have any communication. I've actually fixed most of my problems I've had with anybody in this show. Some that were not aired, some I fixed. So if y'all know who I'm talking about. But now I just have these two to fix. So we'll see. My lines are always open, so that's for sure.
Good, thanks.
With that is a good place to stop, y'all. This is what we do. This is what we do in Sequester. We build things up. Sometimes we break things down, but at the end, we always
it grows back stronger. So it grows back stronger.
We always end it comes up.
Sequester family, right?
Right? Exactly. Family fights sometimes. Sometimes they fight for a little bit. Sometimes they fight for a long time. But at the end of the day, you still got to see them at the family reunion. So thank
You
you
know,
so
and
much.
I really think we should have had a reunion, a get together reunion, just like Bad Girls Club. I think we should have.
Like a live
It
one.
always can happen.
Yes, where we're all together in an actual person, maybe with some security, but um, you know, I think that would have been a good idea.
Well, I mean, like, I think it's gonna be kind of short notice to get everyone in the same place at one time, which I think we could still do a reunion like this, like do it live and
I think so. Maybe like after the last episode, or I just feel like I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it would be hard to get everyone together because everyone's so busy. But maybe if we plan like something because I feel like it's hard like on this format because it's hard to know when people are going to talk and that kind of thing. You talk over people. But if we could get a New Orleans meetup again somewhere else or same place or something, I think that would be very interesting TV. I think that it could definitely be. I think people would like to watch that. I think it could be fun, and there's no risk of getting kicked off the show.
I'll send,
Show's
I'll
over.
send, I'll send a hologram to everybody.
I'll be there via satellite.
Okay.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. Thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching it later, thank you for watching it whenever you're watching. Thank you to my guests, Clayton, Curtis, and Teresa. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was a great, it was a supersized after show for a supersized episode. I can't wait for next week because that is gonna be
Yes.
so interesting. But yeah, you guys have a great night. I'll see you back the same time earlier this time. Sorry, we had a couple technical difficulties, but it'll be at 10:30 Eastern next time. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.